There's been a lot spoken about Alastair Clarkson. We're going to play some of the grabs from experts a little bit later on. James, I want to come to you on this one. To me, a lot of people talking about Alastair Clarkson gets paid a fair whack of the soft cap. To me, it appeared that North Melbourne went out and they wanted to get their man.
Yeah.
They got him. When he got into the position, Alastair Clarkson's life was completely turned upside down. He had to step away from the game after the allegations of racism at the Hawthorn Football Club. And from there, it's been a hard road for him to recover. Now, that's us from a helicopter point of view looking at this and being a bit compassionate in the situation. Can you take us through some situations that you found yourself in where you went from being James Hird, the man, to then having the world crash down on top of you and trying to coach a footy club?
Yeah, it was not a lot of fun. Obviously, the Clarkson situation, my situation is very different. But in 2013, when the Asada investigation opened, it was interesting. We had a really good year as a football team, and I felt like I hadn't lost my currency with the players, even though going home and trying to deal with the off-field stuff and trying to deal with the Asada investigation was pretty hard. It was very hard to deal with. Took a year off and came back in 2015, and the players were cleared, and we actually had a really good 4 or 5 weeks and felt like a good coach. But when WADA opened back the investigation, I felt like my whole currency with the team was gone, the players. And really, by the end of the year, within 6 weeks, I knew I had to resign because I just didn't have that currency with the players. Now, I'm not saying that's the same with Alastair Clarkson, but the toll it takes on your family, on yourself, and trying to coach and trying to get the players to do what you want to do and trying to get them on board is very, very difficult. And I feel for Alastair in the fact that, you know, dealing with off-field stuff and trying to be a great coach at the same time is very, very difficult. And I think you can sense that he's not quite back to where he was due to what's happened in the last couple of years.
So when you watch it, what do you think he needs at the moment? What's the support North Melbourne need to put?
Well, he definitely needs support around him. I had pretty good support in the assistant coaches I had in 2013 particularly. They were fantastic assistant coaches. But by 2015, they weren't quite as good. And I think that the distraction you get from all the media around you, you just need to breathe. You need to do what you need to build that relationship back with the players and then let the people around you coach. And perhaps that's not there.
So where did the cracks first show up, and what were they? What were the signs you felt was a bruised ego? Was it when you're delivering messages in key meetings?
It was all of it. It was a bruised ego. It wasn't even bruised ego. It was guilt that you brought your footy club into that place. But it was more about just the distraction of other things and the intense media scrutiny, intense scrutiny on you as a player, as a coach, and on your football club, away from what it was about getting relationships with your players and trying to get them to play the best possible way.
So if Alastair Clarkson has had the wind taken out of his sails, which would be understandable given what he's been through, how does he get back up and become the coach that he once was for North Melbourne?
Well, I think he's got time. I think he's had time. I think he's had that couple of years where no one's really talking about that anymore. And I think it's about him rebuilding his confidence and the club helping him get the confidence. But the one thing that, and I don't know whether he's lost currency with the players or not, but the one thing that I felt I'd lost in 2015 was currency with the players. Not so much respect, but they just drifted off. And I didn't think I could get that back, and that's why I resigned, because I wasn't able to get that currency or respect back by the players.
It's a brutal country, Australia, at times, if you're a tall poppy, and that doesn't mean you can't be questioned and doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. But when people come for you, it never seems to stop. So let's have a look at just some of the... and these are all fair questions, by the way, so I'm not having a go at anybody for asking the questions. But this is what Alastair Clarkson, and it's a cumulative effect. Let's listen to some of the questions that have been put to him in recent times and the way he's responded.
He's still cutting edge in the modern game, do you think?
Oh, gee, who can ever answer that question? Are you cutting edge in what you do? I don't know. Would you say, oh, yeah, we're right at the top of our game? I'm not the best person to ask. You need to be asking everyone else.
But shouldn't you go, yeah, damn straight I am. I'm absolutely where we need to be.
Maybe, but that's not me.
Oh, wow, we just got smashed in the contest. That is a spanking. The unfortunate part for us is that's probably the strength of our game, and we just got absolutely hammered at a part of our game that usually we fare pretty well in.
So it's a hard one, isn't it, Hirdy? Because if he comes out and says, I'm on top of my game, they're going to say, you're kidding, coach, you've been there 3 years. You couldn't coach us to be dirty at the moment. What's wrong with you?
I feel like you're watching a guy there who's lost confidence in. I mean, he's a great coach. He's a 4-time premiership coach, built that Hawthorn team. There's no doubt he is a great coach, and I feel like he's lost a bit of confidence in himself. And interesting to see even Lee Matthews on the couch last night.
Do you want to play that?
Yeah.
Let's roll that first.
If you pay a coach $1.5 million, which is about 20% of your soft cap, God, you want to be a genius. And no one's that good.
And this is where it starts to hurt, because you start to get questioned. I mean, no one would have said that about Alastair Clarkson when he was leaving Hawthorn. Now it's about...
Right, I remember at the time people saying North Melbourne should pay whatever it takes to get Alastair Clarkson.
$2 million, $2.5 million, paying whatever it takes. And what North Melbourne have done is given him the keys to the football department. Unfortunately for him, and there's a lot of other people it's unfortunate for, this incident's happened, and I think he's lost that currency in the club to do what he needs to do.
Ultimately, as a coach, I think you know when your time's up. I've seen it twice. I think Neil Craig, he knew. We were starting to cop some spankings throughout the year, and he put his hand up. And in the end, it was good to see him take that leap and see the relief come off him. The other one was Pikey at the end of 2019. It's for different reasons as well, Hurdy. But to see him as a person refresh after he made that call was, I know, it was rewarding as someone that valued him as a friend, and seeing that sort of release. And did you get that when you...
Oh, not really. There's a fair bit of criticism still to come. But the thing I'd say about Alastair is I'd love to see him actually say, no, I'm just going to rebuild. I'm going to rebuild this footy club, and I think he deserves the time to do that.
Yeah, so the criticisms of North Melbourne as a club are fair, aren't they, though? Like, they've won, what is it? They've won like 7 games in 3 years. They're really struggling. Their percentage is poor. They get scored against easily.
Yeah, but they were no good.
No, I get that. Let me finish.
They were the worst team in the competition.
Let me finish. Yeah. But Alastair Clarkson is an all-time great coach. The big question is, can he get back to what he was? Because his last couple of years at Hawthorn wasn't good either. So what support does he need around him, Ed, to get to that position? And does he have the support at North Melbourne? Does he have the right people around him at the moment?
But is North Melbourne a club that wants to be a big club, though?
Well, no, they don't.
What do they want to be?
No, they're happy being a boutique, unique club which punches above its weight and is different to other clubs. They see themselves with Good Friday, the grand final breakfast, Friday night football as a pioneer. They are different.
No, that was Channel 7 were a pioneer, and they were run by a bloke called Ron Casey.
That's right.
Who ran both of them.
Yeah, North Melbourne.
But to answer your question, the only way Alastair Clarkson is going to get that team playing well is if he gets the relationships and the currency with his players, that they're all on board. Coaching's not just about X's and O's and about game plan and about what. If they don't truly believe that what he's selling is the right way to go, he won't do that, and that's the only thing that he needs to concentrate on.